Thanks, Richard, for coming. It's nice to see you.
Nice little part of the world you're living in out here.
Yes, we love our house. We've got this fantastic finished basement. It's a great spot for the kids to hang out. They've got a play zone over there. And then we also have this area in here that they use a lot. We call it the art room. This is where they come hang out.
You can keep them pinned down here forever.
Yes, yes. If we just give them a fridge, they'll never leave. They do their homework down here.
Yeah.
And they asked recently to set up an aquarium, so we did that for them.
You forgot something? There's no fish in there?
Oh, you noticed. So we've been having some trouble keeping the fish alive.
An issue with the water?
We think so.
All right.
Yeah.
So how do you get your water in this house?
We have a well.
I assume that, and let's go see what you got here.
Okay.
All right, so this is the telltale sign of a well system. This is a well tank. Now it's got a diaphragm in the middle. It's half filled with air and half filled with water, but the water comes from deep under the ground.
Yes, our well is over 600 feet deep, and the draw doesn't start until about 400 feet down.
That's pretty deep. That water goes through shale, and it picks up calcium and minerals and all kinds of stuff. You really don't know what you're going to get. Do you see any signs of hard water, you know, like stains on the shower head and stuff?
We have occasionally a light ring in the toilet bowl. I think maybe once in the last 10 years, we've changed out a shower head because it got a little cruddy.
Yeah.
No rust, nothing like that, no discoloration.
How about taste? Do you like the taste?
It tastes great. I drink it all day.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so look at this. This is a pretty beautiful installation on the heating system. Look at this.
The house was built by a plumber originally.
Oh, of course. Of course it would be perfect in his own house. All right, so you got water coming up, and you've got a filter.
Yes, we have a whole house filter. It's got a string filter in there. We change it out every 3 months.
It goes through a radon system?
Yes, we have a radon mitigation system that was put in at about the time we purchased the house.
Well, this is really good. So you got filtration, cleaned up the radon. Have you tested the water?
Yes, we have.
Let's check that out.
We've actually become quite the chemists here, Richard.
Okay. Well, there's your kit.
Yes. So we actually have a couple of different kinds of things we've used, but these test strips are great.
Yeah,
they test a couple of different things. So I'll take one of these.
Okay. When do we start testing there? Yep.
All right.
Now we wait.
Yes.
All right, should be long enough. Let's see what the tail of the tape is.
Okay.
This kit's really interesting to tell you just what's going on inside the water. You got all kinds of measurements here. So the one right here is pH. You know, normal water would love to be at that neutral scale, which is 7, halfway between 0 and 14. But look at this now. In fresh water right there, we're up almost to 8. See it?
These are pretty consistent with the results that we've been getting when we've been doing our own testing. And when we've gone to the fish store to try to find out what's going on, they had suggested that this could be a factor in how the fish are faring.
Okay, the scale also tells us that the hardness right here is pretty high, but that's not going to kill the fish. That's actually what you probably like the taste of, the water.
Oh, yeah?
All right, well, I think I have a solution that will keep those fish alive.
All right.
I'll be back. Thank those kids for letting us commandeer their table.
Yes.
All right, I want to introduce you to a reverse osmosis system, filtration system.
This is pretty complicated looking.
Right? It is, but it isn't. Now, I chose this because you don't really have a whole house problem. You've only got this pH problem locally, so if we do it right here, it'll work for the fish right here. So an RO system's got a series of steps, and I want to take you through it. It's a system that comes out of the box, pretty straightforward. Brilliant way to cut into the water supply right here, and the water comes in here to this manifold. And the first stage that the water goes through is a carbon filter. You know, that's the basic taste and odor filter. That's the first stage.
Is that like what people have in the refrigerator?
Right. It's going to help clean up the taste mostly here. And so the water will leave that chamber and go into this one, which is the most important part of this system. This is called the reverse osmosis filter cartridge. Now, what's inside it is interesting. It's actually a membrane. You can see it right here. And the water tries to pass through it, and it only allows it through on a molecular level, so all the impurities remain out here and will be discharged. And it continues through to one more stage to just add a little bit more protection against VOCs and heavy metals.
Okay.
Okay? Now, what happens is inside this, it's going to have all this buildup over time, so what you have to do is make sure you have a place for it to go. So you'll notice at the bottom of this middle chamber, there's a tube that's going to come right over here. It's going to go up to the faucet that we're going to install on the sink, and then it'll discharge to the drain. So out of sight, you'll be able to dump the impurities out of sight and make it go away.
Okay.
Now, this thing is so fine that you're not going to be able to use this just open up the faucet, so it needs to have an accumulator. So off the top here, that water will come through slowly, steadily, and fill this with a volume of water ready to go.
Okay.
Right here, so that you can actually fill the fish tank. And the last thing that's part of this system is actually a thing called a regeneration module, because you've cleaned the water so much that many people would complain that it doesn't taste good.
Oh.
Okay, so it actually puts some of the minerals back in to the water. And I don't think we actually need that for the fish. They probably won't complain.
Probably not.
Okay, but I'm going to install it as part of the system. So now, that is it. I think it'll solve the problem, keep those fish, not afloat, alive.
Okay.
All right, next thing for me is to take all this and make it get installed down there. First thing we got to do is mount this dispenser faucet. Now, this is a stainless steel sink. I could do a new knockout here. If this was cast iron or something, we could actually mount it just off the sink. But you also have this spray hose, not exactly in the best place. Do you care about that spray hose?
Not at all.
Kids don't need it either, right?
No.
All right, then we are committed. And we're off.
There we go.
Okay, position it where you want it to be. Now the new connection is really ingenious. It adapts right onto the threaded connection right there. And it leaves us a T for our new connection. All right, let's try that. So now we're going to feed our cold water supply into the manifold itself. And this is the RO one. So there's another port on the back, and that's going to go out to the drain. The home stretch is this drain connection that has to go in here, and they make a pretty ingenious saddle connection. We'll put it on this drain pipe, and then drill a hole and make the connection. All right, and there's our drain connection. Okay, water is back on. Whoa, 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 what do you got there?
I got a fish. We need a fish.
You are pushing it a little bit. This machine is going to take an hour to 3 hours for all that water to work through that membrane and to fill that tank.
All right.
And then it's going to take another 24 hours before that water is good enough, clean enough to put into there. So he has to go back to where he's going to go back and sleep with the fishes.
All right.
Thank you. You were great help.
Thank you so much, Richard.
Enjoy. Thanks.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.